maybe perhaps a global invasion.
Yeah, so I guess it's a little cheesy. Like every company when they're going like to another country, it's like they're at war with them. It's an invasion. So, but I guess it goes all the way back, right when the Beatles came to the U.S. That was termed an invasion too. So, I guess it's a long time promotional tactic. But the first news for Impact, they have a long history in the UK. They really popped some houses for a while. They used to do great ratings. Now they're now over the air again, but in a different form. But in October, they're going back to the UK. Glasgow O2 Academy, Newcastle Walker Dome, and Coventry HMV Empire, respectively, from October 26th to 28th. I just did a quick search of these venues, and the smallest is about 1,200 seats and the biggest is 2,500 seats. So internationally, I don't know who's promoting this, if they're doing themselves or they have an on the ground promoter. Speaking of which, right from the last show, the challenges that can occur, but they're certainly familiar with this market, even if the staff may have turned over, not all be the same that when they last ran the UK. And it seems like the right size venues. You don't want to go too small if you're going all the way across the pond, as they say, but not too big as not reflect your current status or popularity. So I think this is the right move in terms of this Impact news.
What else is going on with them? They got some more multiverse going on?
Yeah, so the multiverse, of course, as we talked about over WrestleMania weekend, it worked out perfectly. You had fans from all over the world. It was a unique thing. Impact against New Japan. They sold it out quickly. And now here they're, at the 2300 Arena. New Japan is already there the night before, the night after. And New Japan isn't doing that great in that show. And this dual show isn't moving along that well either. The front row is pretty expensive, $300. So you could understand why not all of that is sold. But at each level, there are a fair amount of tickets remaining, even in this small venue. So they announced Tanahashi is going for the Impact World Championship against Alex Shelley. So we spoke a little bit about the greatness of Tanahashi, of course, acknowledging that for our listeners, but also that he's a little bit older. He's been to the States a number of times. It's not as big a draw, and so on. So a unique matchup, but for August 20th. But they're going to need a little bit more to get them over the hump. I'm just looking at their upcoming shows. By the time you hear this, they'll have had their Chicago Heat shows July 28th and 29th. They'll be back in Toronto, August 27th and 28th. White Plains, New York, not far from me, September 8th and 9th, which will include their 1000th episode. They'll be in Memphis, September 22nd and 23rd. And then back to Chicago, including Bound for Glory.